misses. Team Secret, it's 2 for 2. Best of 5. It is all coming down to this next game. But let's first break down game number 4. You want to start it off, Grant?
Sure. Pretty one-sided. Secret, it did good in the laning phase. They gave Nisha the Leshrac, just absolutely took over the game. Arteezy couldn't even get away with his ulti, with any of his items. Nisha, beast mode.
Yep. At this point, it's looking like TA and Storm need to be banned in the first phase. These two heroes are just on top of the Monkey King as well. Don't forget the Magnus. Best of 5 is certainly delivering.
Yeah, I'd say the two things to pick up on thus far in the series are the 4 positions impact. I feel like it's what Tiny's won every game, right? Whichever 4 has that early laning phase impact, it's just huge for the squad. And also, it's the hero pool, not necessarily because the player is limited, but if you look at Matumbaman, you look at Abed, their effectiveness when they're not on one of their core heroes is incredibly neutered. And you have to early pick Abed's hero there, sure, but it's a Leshrac matchup. He gets abused, he gets ganked because of the Tiny pressure. I feel like that's critical to why that game went as it did.
Why didn't EG have any chance of really fighting back? At least that's what it felt like. It felt like it was like a slow choke from the side of Secret. What caused that?
They only really had one. I mean, they had 1.5 teamfight heroes, I guess you could say. The Batrider, we liked the pick. I still think it was one of the best choices they had in the situation they were in. But you kind of had to cover some gaps in that draft.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sin, but I felt like he also once again misread how he needed to itemize. Rushing bots when you're the team with the Wisp, you don't need global mobility. You need a blink. You need to go kill stuff. A drums would have been fine as well, but to go bots into BKB, you don't actually have any real catch. You're already low on stuns, and your one initiator cannot make plays until 30 minutes into the game.
I think this is one of the rare games that I would like to see Blink Force Staff on that. As the go-to build. It's almost never the best anymore, but when you draft like this, so it's your only really reliable way of starting a fight, you have to get it right every time, and you're just not setting yourself up for success itemizing like this.
I agree. I think there's like too many of these heroes that have a response if they see this coming, right? You have this Leshrac who's activate some of his abilities. You need to be able to catch that Train Protector when he's playing in the trees, when you go for these split pushes and you go for these side lane towers. You needed to be able to get that fast initiation. Otherwise, you could have just as easily, just not gone for initiation at all and focused on sustain instead.
Yep, and I don't want to key in on items, but it's the same with Matumbaman playing the Lesh in the 3rd game. It's not, there's symptoms of a root problem, which is a lack of understanding of what your team needs to do in the game and when your proper power spike is. What is your responsibility? Sure, Matumbaman can play Lesh, Ramses can play Bat, but they didn't necessarily know what their hero needed to do for their team to win the game.
Now, and I know you already mentioned Japsor's Tiny, and he was indeed phenomenal, but I also want to take that to Crit on his IO. And we spoke about IO quite a lot and about how he might be, or it might be not a great hero, especially not for position 4, because you can't do as much with it. Am I right in saying that we're seeing IO just fail all the time purely because of the way these two teams play?
Yep.
Feels like that, yeah. I mean, as you said, Crit versus Japsor, 2 of the best playmaking fours in the world. One can make plays, the other has to sit and watch Arteezy hit neutral creeps. It doesn't feel good.
I mean, I think the hero is a 5 right now, honestly. The way you play, you get the neutral items, you get somebody else to make moves. Fly, I think, doesn't play IO at all. I don't recall seeing it. And on the other side, Puppy he tried it once this finals. Guess he didn't really like it. He was like, whatever. If this finals had Vici Gaming in it, I don't think we would be seeing this many IO games just because they're like very comfortable playing around that with their position 5 player. And I agree, like maybe you let it go.
It might
focus
just go
on getting your position 4s to have as high an impact as possible.
It's something we discussed even back when I was playing, where Wisp always feels better when you are very confident with its partner. Like Vici, it's not the Wisp, it's the Wisp plus Gyro. That's what you're playing against every time. And neither one of these teams seemed like they had much confidence in like what they were running, right? Like Wisp Slark for EG, Wisp OD for Secret. These are not the same power level. You don't have those natural spikes where it's like holy shit, we're in big trouble. Like Gyro just hit level, or Wisp hit 20, like Gyro's huge, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, Vici Gaming will just switch Gyro right off the bat in the very first phase because they know how to be able to, they read the game and they know how to be able to scale that combination really well.
Yep.
So you can just ban out Tiny. That's simple enough. What are the replacements of Tiny? We know that Shaker is both Crit and Japsor. He's just missing Shaker, though.
Yeah. Game 5 is when the comfort heroes come out, right? Not necessarily like, oh, I want this hero. It's I want to do what I want to do in this game. And for me, the key for both sides is to make sure their 4 positions can kill enemy heroes from minute 0 to minute GG.
So who was the MVP of this game? I mean, I felt like it was nobody in particular.
I'd say the Leshrac.
The Leshrac,
I would say
Nisha
kind of just took over, dominated the lane, dominated Arteezy and the IO 2v1. I would definitely give it to him.
Fair.
It's not really so much about the kills. Like, his scoreline might not look incredible. What was it, 4-0-12 or whatever? It's just you have a huge impact when you can take 3 towers so quickly. Like, that means so much more to the game than if you had 10 kills. You know, it's
and he took every tier 2 by himself, too.
It's how much he... Consider how shit Morph was in the start. Like, he had nothing, okay? And he kind of... His rotations brought an extra player into the game. That's MVP territory, right? He had to deal with a very sacked carry. And
but does Twitch chat agree with you? Drumroll, please. MVP of Game 4 of the Grand Finals, and the last MVP of the series. It's Zai, his Enchantress. We're back to where we started.
Yeah, it's been a while since he got one.
Yep.
Give him one, you know, give him motivated.
Just like we forgot about certain heroes in the draft, you forget about Zai.
Yeah.
Twitch chat loves their Zai wave.
They do.
Sometimes to just go on a Zai
high.
Zai mode,
yeah.
You know? Like, somebody writes hashtag
But he played well, too.
Get a little bit of a Zai high.
Yeah. I just said that, but you know, it's cool, Kev. You can try to steal it right next to me.
But he played good too, right? I mean, the whole team, the whole
they all
squad came
did, right?
together.
It feels, I mean, game 1, 2, and 4 now have been pretty one-sided. So all the players have played well on the team that's won. Now we'll see.
Yeah, it feels a lot like it's a more strategic warfare. The teams are playing great, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the drafts and itemization have severely impacted the winner of these games. Like, more so than a typical finals.
And it's Puppey versus Fly, right? Like, these two know each other very, very well.
Puppey versus Fly, Heen versus Bulba as well on the coach seat, of course. But we are going to have a 5th game to the series after a break.
Rick Gaming Esports, professional esports housemaker.
Success is the campaign, hustle, make $1 billion. It's all grind and no play. You wanna live, you trade your days away. My cheat codes don't work. Got the grades, but still I'm a store clerk. But I'm fine cause I got plans. Wrote them down on the back of my hands. I strive for all my life without a worthy cause. Hard work about 2/3, still seem to make a loss. Hey, hey, one day that leaves me in. When you're invisible, maybe I'll find comfort in my skin. Dream big, that's what mama said. Have faith, you can make it. We set out, fearless, but we all got lost in the wilderness. Is this world for the taking? We're sold out cause we all
find EG versus Secret, the two best teams in the world right now. What else could we ask for but a draft?
But a draft. Yes. Get the hype going because this game and what we've seen from these two teams so far.
Oh, maybe I mistyped that one. Sorry.
Good try.
I love fans.
No, I actually am hyped because I'm hoping that this is going to be like a very active game, like the third game we had in this series. I feel like that's going to be the style of game we're going to see.
I agree. I think both teams realize you just got to brawl. Like, the game is so fast-paced. They're going to pick these. I think we're going to see big team fighters. We might see an Enigma. I don't know. I think we're going to see big team fights.
I think the thing, if you look at the draft, Wyvern's been first two'd every single game thus far. It won the first two, lost the last two. I think that this is a hero that should just be ignored in the first phase now, because to your point, the teams have increased the tempo, and the squad with the stronger mid-game has seemed to win. They're also picking higher reach, and that's what beats Wyvern. If you see just ults used for peel instead of for big team fight clashes.
By the way, can I give some respect, extra respect even for EG, because this is going to be the 8th game of high-level, high-tier Dota they're playing today.
That's rough.
That is incredible. That on itself is an incredible feat.
Yeah, I've seen Kyle struggle after 2 games of pubs.
I mean, we're 2. What do you mean? I've seen him struggle in just 1.
Sometimes you get off, you start poorly.
You did play with Rich, to be fair. I think that's a struggle in itself.
So there's the Doom, Lich, Storm, Monkey
I think
King
it's
still
scary
in.
is that Secret left open an Ancient Apparition first pick opportunity, right? And so they clearly had an opening in mind that wasn't the Morphling, I assume, because you probably wouldn't want to play that into it. So they actually just won with kind of like their secondary opening, and they probably can still offer that Ancient Apparition and still have that same kind of opening in mind.
It's a really good point, and because, again, EG first picked Wyvern, right? You no longer have the luxury. You don't want to run 8 Wyvern supports in the first 2. You're just asking to get run over.
Have Secret banned Lich before as first pick?
Secret has not previous game, not the game before that, not the game before that. No.
Okay, it's a change up.
Also, Monkey King and Magnus still in the pool as well.
Both of them. IO, which we've talked about. I mean, one of the teams might still just first pick it.
Yeah.
I think you just ignore Wisp as both teams. It just
I think
doesn't seem like they're confident.
But will they? You played against Fly for a long, long time. Is he stubborn, or do you think he'll ignore it?
No, I don't think either one of these teams are truly that stubborn.
Okay.
It's game 5, You just want to play what you're comfortable with. And at the end of the day, neither team looked comfortable with Wisp. It's not about whether or not they think it's a good hero. We all know it is, but you want to go to something more similar to your bread and butter. My curiosity is, EG, with overall last pick in this draft, who are you saving the hero for? Because they've consistently been first twoing Abed's hero, but do you really want to second pick a TA now that Storm's already out of the pool? I don't really think so.
They've been last picking Ramses' hero
a lot. When they have last pick overall, they do.
Omni Knight, Bat Rider. I want to say there was at least one more of the games where they last picked this.
This is cool because a really nice second pick opener would be Drow +1. I like that quite a bit. It also then kind of activates Abed's hero pool, right? Because all of a sudden, any ranged hero is going to look solid, or you could even go for something more like a Kunga. Yeah, of course. Tiny first pick, that makes total sense.
I don't think EG would have banned this Arc Warden if Naga wasn't banned.
Yeah,
I agree.
I actually think they would have let it through. The question is if Secret get a secondary hero that Naga would have been good against in this first phase instead, together with their Tiny.
Treant Drow.
Oh, the Drow after not seeing it at all in the first phase.
I really like this from both teams. Secret first pick Tiny, recognizing, look, our 4 position being active has been the key to winning in this series, but EG obviously were prepped for this, right? Like they saw this Tiny first pick coming and had a snap pick opener prepared. Their last band's also tailor-made for this Drow Ranger. I love Treant Drow. Root into the arrows. It's BKB piercing damage and control.
But now you can get Monkey if you want to on the side of Secret. If you just want to comfort, you've won 3 out of 3 of your games with it.
But into a Treant, though, like this is much more difficult from a Tumpa Man. I just like EG's. Whenever you're in a game 5, I feel like you want to simplify things. And Drow lineups to me right now are just the most natural. Like, this is good. And no matter what you pick against us, this will still be good.
So Wyvern is kind of always good against Drow Ranger, for example.
Sure.
So if you want to simplify things there.
I don't know if you want to look Wyvern when it's lost the last 2 games.
Oh, man.
That makes more,
First Phantom Lancer of the series.
With no Nog in the pool, you know EG is going to be looking to ban it. They did in the last couple of games, and it's your go-to drought counter. Also very good against the Treant because you're a natural Manta buyer.
This is a really good PL pick, actually.
Yeah.
I think EG need to spend 1 or 2 picks specifically targeting this guy, or they need to all in on winning the game before it goes too late. And in this series, that hasn't really seemed to be EG's approach overall in their drafting. They haven't been like, okay, let's pick Mega Push or something.
Well, you have to ban Leshrac now if you're Secret, right? Like, after that last game, certainly. And we've watched Liquid play it against PLs and dominate. I think you've just got to get rid of it.
We've only seen one game where Draw Ranger really demolishes Phantom Lancer, and I think that was the Vici Gaming. I think it was Eurus who made those early rotations into the PL lane. But we've seen EG, whenever they have the Draw Ranger, they do play it a lot slower. They like to be able to play those jungles. So I think EG, they're going to either have to go outside of the comfort zone when it comes to playstyle for this lineup, or draft a better win condition.
Yep. It's going to be really curious to me what hero Abed plays and which direction they're looking to go with this lineup. Do they want to pick another core for him?
I don't think
or do they put him on something like a Kunkka?
I think
definitely can't TA here.
TA is a mistake if they go that route. So Kunkka is an interesting idea. I kind of like it.
I'd actually like an off-lane Lesh, like a mid playmaker for Abed. I think that's when EG is feeling confident, specifically Kunkka. We haven't seen the hero in this series so far, but it's definitely still tier 1.
It doesn't really fit the bill with what they've done with Ramses, though. I feel like Leshrac is not independent enough if it gets left alone. Leshrac has to have a good start. This hero, when it falls behind as a core, it's really weak.
You do have Treant, though. You could even look to tri-lane.
Sure, that's a totally different story. But then you're leaving Arteezy alone. So
if you're banning,
Arteezy could play the Lesh. Like, that's also entirely possible. Or sorry, not Arteezy. Yeah. Arteezy kind of has to play the draw.
If you're going to ban Ramses heroes, what about the Underlord? Long looked at as one of the best counters to the Phantom Lancer.
It's really nice with the drought, too. It's just, you want frontline for him.
Yeah.
I think a Timbersaw is also a very distinct possibility. We've seen how effective that hero can be with the Treant.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So where are you going to take this?
I think the Timberban is the best, actually.
Okay.
It's something EG are very comfortable with. They've played it multiple times in this tournament, compared to, say, a Leshrac, which I feel like would be a little bit out of their comfort zone, at least so far.
Yeah.
What was the other hero we were talking about?
Underlord.
Yeah.
Underlord. Yeah, same story. I think
it's good. I mean, Lelis dominated against the PL with that Underlord.
Real quick, isn't it so cool how usually this second ban phase is kind of a snooze, but there's so much pressure, it feels like. This is where the game's
I don't
coming
know
down.
if you've been watching Dota lately, but it's not been a snooze, for sure.
Well,
this is the
means,
time where, for example, for Vici Gaming, we always see them take extra time here, because this is where they define their game plan, right?
Yeah.
When the
I
teams
think
know
just
each other,
more mind games going on now, perhaps.
Sure.
when the teams know each other this much, every ban becomes really important. There's been so many adjustments made.
And they give away more information too, right, as to where your draft could be going, because now we kind of understand how certain heroes match up, because we've already seen so much Dota from these squads.
Oh, it's interesting. They don't ban away any of the Draw Ranger combinations. They don't take away Viper. They don't take away OD or anything like that. They're just trying to protect their PL pick.
I think they're too slow. The key with Lesh Omni is they're incredible team fighters, and they're very strong once they get that first item online. That's what you're worried about if you're Secret.
Should you be worried about Templar Assassin, or is the PL already a good counter?
I think so.
PL's strong enough counter, and it's just too slow for the way these games have been playing out.
Okay.
You get PL +2 second phase picks, and you have Tiny mid to gank the TA early on. I think that would definitely be a mistake for EG.
Yeah, say you were to Huskar that pick, then she has no game, both in lane and outside of the mid game.
Evil geniuses turn to
They banned Timber themselves. Wow.
Okay, I expect to understand this soon, but right now...
We can give you some time. It's all good.
No, so what are they scared of themselves with picking it? Is it that they're going to get counterpicked by an OD mid, or you won't get Slark when you have PL?
I mean, it's really annoying to play
banned OD and pick
against
Timber, right? I think that would have been something EG would have done 2 games ago.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think you go your support here for sure. It's just what do you want to grab against this PL?
Oh, maybe they're scared of making Batrider too
They
good.
do take the Underlord.
Well, they still made Batrider very good. That did not help their cause against that.
It's really curious to me that they're saving the support pick. Like, you know what it is? Underlord is just very solid for both teams. It's very good against the PL, but it's also very good against the Drow and the Treant. And I know Secret love putting Zai on the Underlord against the Drow. You play aggressive, you buy a Crimson Guard, and all of a sudden the Drow damage output just disintegrates.
But what's the argument for taking Underlord over Timber? If you pick Timber, you had a ban.
And it's great against the Underlord.
You could have banned the OD, right?
Well, you were looking.
Is there something else left?
If it was Timbersoft, they're thinking about Underlord, and then they mix it up with Shaker as well. Then you've got 3 different strength heroes on top of that. Timbersoft looks really good. You want their Shaker versus the Phantom Lancer. It's also one of those supports that actually helps Underlord because you want to leave him alone, but you need that first couple of waves. Creep equilibrium is important there.
Bench, this hero first phase banned, the first 2 games, I believe. Now it's been let through almost every time. And Secret, they'll snatch it up. Zai, as we said, MVP last game. The hero does a lot of damage, not just in the mid game, in the lane. Now that you get impetus to level 1.
I feel like this Eng might be 5, actually.
Yep, I can see it as a possibility. It's just really good. You can remove the tree armor, and your impetus is going to go through the massive Angus. Wow.
That is genuinely not considered a good hero against PL.
No, it is not.
Why is that?
Your ulti, the Bedlam, you hit illusions. You can Manta dodge or Doppelganger out of Terrorize. You can Manta out of the Brambles.
They do have this area of effect. You've got an Underlord, a Dark Willow, and a tree, and also the Gust. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have a Tiny and an Enchantress. You've got a lot of single target.
I mean, this Dark Willow is really good versus the Enchantress, but if this Enchantress then turned into the 5 that you're talking about, that makes that pick look even worse as a result.
They take the Kunkka themselves.
One of Nisha's most classic mid heroes. I was expecting maybe to see that a bit more from him on Secret. I think this was one of the heroes that really made Puppy understand how good this guy is when he was playing with Penguin. Nisha's mid Kunkka was kind of unbelievable at the time for a tier 2 team.
I think he had the fastest Radiance ever.
He did some, I think he kind of, I don't want to say necessarily pioneered an armlet build because that's not really the case, but it was at a time that people weren't really going armlet on Kunkka. He started going for this combat build and just making tons of moves around the map, playing a lot faster than most other players.
It's just so good here as well against the Drow. If he goes for that armlet or just rushed halberd build specifically, you disarm the Drow, the damage output of EG disintegrates, and in addition, your mid game is just so strong with the X and the boat.
I think one more thing is that damage reduction is always really strong against, minus armor, or in this case, Drow Ranger ignoring armor. You want to be able to tank up somehow, and I think this is a great way to do it.
Yep. I like the Willow still. We haven't really discussed it, but this is just massive team fight, right? Crit also, he's on one of his favorite heroes, and he gets an opportunity to potentially ball out. Yes, Manta, you can't Manta out of everything. That's the thing. You have Pit to deal with, you have Tree and Root, now you're going to have the Willow. If you land the Bramble into the ultimate, it is a ton of burst magical damage, which is excellent at taking out a hero like Enchantress, although as we said, it could possibly be a 5 Secret. Running out of time here, have to decide which hero is Zai's.
I really like the look of a Batrider, honestly. I think it's really good. What carry can you even, or what mid hero it would be, right? Like Batrider would have a good lane no matter what. It's against Treant, Drow, Willow, and Underlord. 4 heroes that I would say it's pretty good against in side lanes. If you pick any mid hero that is good against Batrider, what mid hero can you get that is good against Bat and Peel in the game? And that also deals with Kunkka, I think. That would be a really solid pickup. But I guess it doesn't have the best track record in this series. It hasn't looked that
and sometimes,
great.
you just see it lose and you're like, is it good?
Whatever.
Yeah, you question yourself, right? Both teams all the way down, by the way. Every single second used. They do the bat. Good call, Sin.
That's good.
Do you Viper here if you're EG, perhaps?
And you've got a classic Viper versus melee matchup. Maelstrom's really strong.
I could see
Emperor and Storm.
Quap, perhaps?
Quap? Against Kunkka?
I'm not sure. It depends. I think you want a playmaker that's mobile, but at the same time, you don't really have any hero that wants to be lassoed. I think perhaps Underlord, it's like, you can go the Viper archetype, or you can go for something that Abed can style on.
I mean, you want a Maelstrom hero, I think, right? I don't know if you have enough answers to Phantom Lancer otherwise.
They do the Viper. I think it's a good pick.
Okay.
That's good.
It's just that Secret have way more potential to make plays around the map.
But, on the other side, right, EG, if it is a 5-on-5 fight, they probably have the answers. So we are going to see a little bit of tit for tat, I think.
Yeah.
That's the way we want it.
It is, absolutely. It's game freaking 5.
It's game freaking 5. Guaranteed final game of the series. After this game, we will have our major champion. So for the last time, make some noise, guys. Grand Finals, game 5, here we go. Let's go, baby.
It is time for the final game, Game 5 between Team Secret and Evil Geniuses here at the Leipzig Major. And my goodness, what a draft to set it off from both of these squads. We're seeing sort of a return to some of the ideas that we saw throughout the rest of the tournament. E.g., they're coming in with this Drow Viper strat, and Secret, they're falling back to one of those cores that look to have incredible performances throughout this whole LAN. It's the PL for Matu.
It hasn't been picked in 2 days. It completely disappeared out of this tournament somehow, and we were all shocked by it. But now, when we see that opening Drow pick, Secret does want to bring it back. But we have seen people start to find some solutions to deal with it, in particular this Underlord. It did seem to be one of the better solutions at dealing with that Phantom Lancer. But we'll be able to see also, we have another intriguing pick too, is the Crit Dark Willow. You were, of course, already highlighted that one for a second there, but yeah, he is playing his master tier Dark Willow, so I'm sure Rich is very happy somewhere in the crowd.
I'm sure he is. I mean, and Crit, literally one of, if not the best Dark Willow in the game of Dota 2 right now. And bringing it back here for this incredible finish to this best of 5 grand finals. We'll see if it's going to be enough, because I imagine looking at this lineup, you would imagine that there's pressure on EG to play this quite fast, right? I can't imagine. You don't want to try and scale this down against a PL, do you?
Oh, I'm sorry, I just got distracted by YapzOr's play there, walking in to check the ward, and then Abed placed it right afterwards. I don't think you do want to, I think you're saying about taking it late to the PL. I don't think so. I think EG does want to play a pretty fast pace when they are playing with Viper and Drow versus this illusion-based hero. Even if they can itemize versus it, they want to get a good advantage into that mid game, and they do have a lot of team fight coming in. But yeah, about that little mid play, YapzOr walked into the spot that where you check, where you can tell if they do have a lane ward. It wasn't placed just yet, and then the Viper placed it right afterwards, so that was very unlikely to get dewarded in the mid lane.
Now, mid lane will definitely be an interesting one to watch. You imagine on the early levels, it's not going to be too easy for the Conqueror. A lot of pressure will be there from Abed's Viper. Nisha, he's just got to play it safe. Make sure that he doesn't feed early on. He's going to be able to quickly clean up neutral camps, but the beginning of this matchup, it is going to be rough for Nisha.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just going to constantly get hit. You see those 5 stacks already built up of poison attack. Abed constantly to do so.
He's taking a lot here, Nisha.
He's dead.
He is. He's just dead and gone. That's first blood. Crit will pick it up. Maybe they could get Abed in return. They do.
Okay.
So they get the trade, but it is first blood for EG.
Both of them were trying to play around, and I think this is what we come to expect already from the last 4 games that we've seen. The 4 positions are going to influence that mid lane a lot in this game.
I mean, it's just an interesting play to be made for Nisha. I guess he sort of accepts that in this matchup, he is going to die. So the least he can do is make sure that when he does die, it's not him running away. It is him getting in there and at least getting a trade kill with the backup of his teammates.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to maybe get the level 2 a little bit faster so he gets that torrent play on top of the toss, but it didn't just quite happen as Abed just got too much damage stacked up on him. Crit, moving it again.
Gonna make another move with the Bramble. That little bit of setup allowing Arbet to continue laying down crit. He's hit two. The Curse Crown is there on Tanisha. He pops the Fairy Fire, but they're in. They'll kill him again. Can Yapzor set up any sort of trades? The Courier also being sniped away from Yapzor. Arbet does fall as Yapzor at least able to get a look in. So again, this mid matchup continues to be chaos. We are seeing each time Nisha is the first core to fall out of the two of them, but Secret, they're getting some trade kills, and Yapzor is getting some good amounts of XP because of it.
Yeah, he actually was still only level 1, even though he got that kill there. Now it's a Yapzor versus Crit 1v1 in the mid lane for a moment, as the two actual mid laners have to run back since their TPs are on cooldown because of the battling. This is a crazy start already, having a 2v2 pretty much in the mid lane because of it.
And I really feel this is just an interesting approach from Secret. I think a lot of the times you'll see this matchup being left to as it is, and the Viper will just purely dominate the Kunkka. Sure, they're getting the kills on the Kunkka, but he's able to sort of equalize what both teams are getting out of it because he's playing aggressive and they are going for the trade kills, making sure that every time Arbe gets a kill, it costs him his life.
I mean, look at these two. They're actually just standing there, still just positioned around that mid lane. Yapzor has to be sure not to sap too much experience since he's already level 3 and Nisha's only level 2 in comparison.
Yeah, when Arbet
hits
the 3, that's when this suddenly becomes a lot harder to get the kills in trade, because with that additional damage from the poison attack, you just die that much faster as it starts to get layered up upon you.
Yeah, that doubled up damage really does make quite a big difference when you hit that level 3. And I mean, Crit, he's level 3 as well, so a lot of kill potential that comes out from the Willow when you hit 3 on top of having your Cursed Crown plus Bramble. You do have that additional from Shadow Realm. We've seen top, we haven't really looked and paid much attention to it because it's not really a whole lot of fun to watch Ramses suffer and try to attempt to get some creeps, but we will be able to watch Zai suffer and die, and he gives us an affirmative.
Poppy trying to push him away, but he'll be able to drag the wave around. Oh, another bit of harassment here. Crit's going to lead with the Curse Crown, allow Arbet to start to build up the poison attack once more. Tossback is there, dragging Crit underneath the tower. Nisha's going to go for the TP out. Bramble, Crit, perfect positioning, holds back the Kunkka, and this time they'll get that kill, and they won't have to lose Arbet for it.
Give him the tip as well, so he can feel that pain. But yeah, Crit, I mean, it's literally just two heroes sitting in the mid lane. So looking at the side lanes really quick, both of them are free farming. It is still 24-11 on the PL and 24-7 on the Drow Ranger, so still even in those matchups. But yeah, Crit being the big winner here, as he's also able to move to the side during this and actually stack up, I believe, both camps for that Viper.
The slow walk back to lane, of course, once again for Nisha to be made.
He can't lane now, though. Versus a Viper, at this point, he has to just, I don't know, like, kind of jungle in a way, which is really awkward, as Abed is already level 4 and change.
Down bottom, he's doing a good job of staying on top of Zai here. He's trying his best to slow them with the sticky napalm. The Firefly will end soon. He's going to get another Frost Arrow in. Top lane, Puppy, with his army of creeps, he gets the kill alone. Takes them down with the Golems and the Hellbear Smash, and that'll do it. Back towards mid, Zai going for the TP out. They've got no cancel, so Zai will escape and has drawn Arteezy a long way away from his creep wave. He will TP straight back down bottom, but he had already lost some of it to the push of his own wave.
He only lost a couple, actually. He lost, I think, like, what, 3 creeps, and then he missed one of that additional wave, so 4 creeps total. As you see, the PL just pulls a little bit ahead of him. Not the most time lost for him. And EG looks like they will at least claim 3 of the bounty runes for themselves as well. And yeah, Nisha's just jungling. So he does have a stack for himself at least available, but that's pretty devastating as your Kunkka starting out already this early. I guess Yapzor's now just going to be the mid solo Tiny at this point. So we'll probably see EG look to make some aggressive moves onto this Tiny and maybe even look to find Nisha in the jungle, maybe even just a ward to watch where he is going to be.
I mean, if Crit gets any sort of control, Yapzor's going to be in a whole lot of trouble. He does his best to juke out the Bramble, and that will keep him safe. Back to the tier 2 he goes. Fly's also here to make the move onto Nisha, as Nisha will be held back. Actually, Nisha maybe looking for the setup to turn things around. X-Mark into the combo of himself and Yapzor, that'll do it. They punish EG for trying to poke at the mid lane.
It is a very high level Tiny at this point in the game, already level 4.5, so he does have that extra damage that comes from the combo. And Nisha is very thankful to get any type of comeback that will come his way. And he's just continuing to stack. He stacks some jungle camps and he's able to farm decently, so it's actually not that bad. He's keeping a decent pace, at least in gold, to the Viper. It's pretty much even. Levels, he's a little bit behind, but that's just fine for Team Secret at the moment. Well, like we said, both side lanes, both of those offlaners are suffering. Pretty much same level though, level 4.
Yeah, very even action really up and down the map. Both carries, free farm indeed, Matu and Arteezy. Just Matu with a slight lead. He's been able to make better usage of the pulls towards the neutrals, so he has that edge. And it really sort of, you know, you've got to sort of pick your poison. Which one is going to be scarier coming into that mid game? Will it be the free farm PL or the free farm Drow?
It's just depending on what EG can make of it. Once this Drow is starting to get online, once their lineup all starts to get together for them to group up and be able to push, will they be able to keep that push going to not allow Secret to just farm up on this PL? Because PL, like we said, this hero can become the king in this game. Although he is versus some, like we said, some counters. The Viper, Nether Toxin can be a little annoying at times. It's not the best because it's hard to keep him inside of it, but they have Underlord and they have a Willow, so they have a lot of different ways of controlling the PL. Rotation, Yapzor, level 4, Ramses very low.
They're hunting. They're diving deep for this doppelganger in to clean the trees out. There's TP backup coming through. Matu instantly TP's out. There's nothing to cancel it. So Matu can retreat. Yapzor, he's going to try for the TP himself. The Cursed Crown, it won't hit in time. Yapzor's there, instantly TPs to make sure that he's out before the Cursed Crown procs.
Very heads-up play by him there. Couldn't wait any more time for him to do so, otherwise he would have likely gone down. Zai.
He's getting aggressive. A TP over from Ramses will come in. He's a little low on the mana though, Ramses, and Zai.
5 seconds on Firefly.
It's a lot of napalm onto Arteezy. Abed moved over. Abed was in the jungle and he can now turn. They turn with a multi-shot and shoot Zai down. A dive too far. He was not ready for the movement from the Viper. I guess he forgot about the fact that Abed, he's just been sitting in that whole jungle area, and it's very easy for Abed to just sort of take a moment to step away and help out his carry.
He would have had to dive pretty hard under a tier 2 as well versus the Drow. Maybe would have gotten the kill, but probably would have died himself anyway.
Another bit of a dive, but this time they're going on Ramses, and Ramses, he's got all his friends here to back him up. The multi-shot cleans out the illusions. Matu, he's gone.
Uh-oh.
Not the ideal move for him to make. He was having free farm to start this game off. He comes down to the bottom lane and ends up handing his life to Arteezy.
Maybe not expecting all the rotations to come out from EG, but yeah, gets punished. And Arteezy, like you said, he gets the kill. Very important for him. Yapzor, as well as Zai. They're going to go on Fly here in the meantime. Fly will be able to survive with those stick charges with the backup of Ramses' Firestorm. EG making very heads-up plays. Somehow Secret, though, still having that gold lead slightly.
Nisha keeping himself to the jungle, has phase boots done. With that Iron Talon, he's able to work through the creeps at quite the rate. Abed, though, the stacks have been made, and his farm will slowly catch up to that of Nisha's.
Yeah, this is what I was mentioning earlier about the Willow crit. He was able to not only help the mid lane, but also ensure that he'd get a couple stacks in the jungle for that Viper. Always nice playing a support, as we always say. You stack those camps, you get a lot of gold actually coming back for yourself as a 4 position, so it's always worth stacking for your mid laner.
And both supports, I mean, they're loving life in the mid lane.
They really are.
Puppey and Crit, they really have become the 2 new mid lanes this game. As Puppey hits the level 6 nice and early because of this one.
Yeah, he was like, you know what, Yapzor, you've got your level 4, your level 5, just go. You go make plays, I take the farm now.
10-minute runes coming up and the outpost. We'll see EG start to bring the 3 of them down bottom to secure these 2 runes and the objective.
Are they going to bring Nisha to try to contest one of them? They are. They're going to bring Nisha bottom to try to help out.
Zai's already dead, though. He leads him with a Firefly. Arteezy just, again, stands his ground, shoots him down, and is able to cover Fly and kill off the Batrider. They'll look towards Crit instead. The full combo being used, dragging him back into the boat. They'll bring him down.
We'll force a 1-for-1 exchange, at least on those outposts, but Nisha looked like he prioritized just killing Crit instead, for good reason. It was a very high-level Willow, as we've been mentioning, level 6 early on without even eating the tome. So Nisha already jumps up to level 8, and yeah, both teams do get one of those outposts.
Now back for another bit of a look in on mid. Abed knows that with these sort of moves down bottom being made by Secret, he's safe to show himself in that mid lane. Nisha continuing to stay down here, shoving the wave in. Doesn't look like they'll go for any sort of pressure onto the tier 1 tower. Just some space for Yapzor to reclaim the outpost for himself. Crit's going to TP over, see if they can set up something with Fly. As they've got to be careful, Yapzor, on showing himself down on the bottom lane whilst there's so many members of Evil Geniuses around. And he's going to come back into the lane. EG, they'll start to head back towards him. At the same time, I guess they're just focusing on making sure their cores are farming fine, and with the top lane forced in on Ramses, he can start to soak up another wave or so, get himself back in the game, as he did have a slow start on that off lane. but he is now slowly finding the farm. There's him and Zai. It's still a lot of catch-up. Zai actually coming up here with his level 7. He may even look to do something against this Underlord. He needs a bit of damage output, and Matsu, he'll be able to provide that. They come in, they move forward, and that invis setup sets up a big kill. Zai and Ramses have been suffering for pretty much the whole game, and Zai makes sure that Ramses is just suffering a little bit more than him.
Yeah, and I think we're probably going to see Zai look to make a lot more aggressive moves than we did see Ramses in that last time. I think it's a lot more natural for him to be able to versus some of these heroes, in particular the Tree, the Underlord. Batrider very good at versus both these heroes to just get on top of them, and I mean they die very quick to all this magic damage. See the PL immediately make the move away out of top lane as EG starts to focus more up there, going for that Yasha build as we tend to see, going just for that straight farm in the jungle build rather than look to get involved too early on. And it will be a straight halberd, of course, on Nisha. Playing versus 2 ranged carries makes a lot of sense. And he's look how well he's done. He's 1,000 gold above Abed on the Viper because of those rotations he's been able to make.
On top lane, EG, they'll start to group up and go for objectives. As the Drow Viper lineup, they know that this sort of early point of the game is still a time where Secret will not turn up to defend these outer towers.
Yep, and Secret can actually look to make the same trade.
And an avalanche in the trees from Yapzor actually cancels the TP out of Fly. They'll set up for the kill on this one, and they'll just surely take it. He's trying to juke it out, but Zai's got the vision on him.
Puppy, looks like he's trying to get some type of trade in the mid lane. He continues to hit this tower with his max level enchant, that creep that we talked about last game.
Again, sweet moves around the Bramble Maze. Still not enough to get away from the initial bit of poison, but far enough away that they won't continue to chase. Top, Arteezy's trying to push back Nisha, but he's already got the setup. Ramses takes the boat to the face. Yapzor's combo finishes him off.
Secret's really starting to ramp things up. A 4K gold advantage in no time as they're just, it looks like there's a much easier way for them to actually make moves. Yapzor, 3-0-3. He almost has a Blink Dagger again. Same time as last game. He's going to have it pretty much at that 14-minute mark. And there's a lot of squishy heroes on the enemy lineup.
Oh, yeah. I mean, having these sort of item timings against this Drow and Viper heroes that do not deal well with you getting on top of them this early. This is a very, very tough beginning for EG. This Drow and Viper core, it's going to struggle to really get things going back their way if Secret can stay ahead. Matsu's farm is getting out of control. This PL, without a doubt, is going to be a huge problem for Evil Geniuses this game.
Absolutely. And as we were talking about Zai wanting to be more active, he's queued up a Blink Dagger, so he wants to look to get involved. I think this is the right move by EG, though. I think they're recognizing if they do group up and go for these tower pushes, it's going to be pretty hard for Secret to actually turn it. They do bring Nisha now, though, as Crit is able to get his Shadow Realm off. Can't get X during that.
They really are grouping up, but already on the back of it.
Oh, he pulls him onto the high ground.
He's able to cliff Fly. Fly, he's going to be stuck here. They'll slowly bring him down, stacking up the napalm. And that means that Fly will suffer a slow and painful death on the cliff. 6K lead for Secret. This game continuing to slip out of EG's realm.
They're telling Arteezy to go top 2 to split push the waves a bit so that they can actually make sure that he stays farmed, because during all this, Secret, they're responding with like 3 or 4 heroes, and like you said, PL, Matumba Man getting all the space in the world. He's got almost finished up the Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, just about 300 gold, and the Diffusal Blade will be done.
That is terrifying to have a Viper as well as like, all these heroes. You have no interest in playing versus such an early Diffusal Blade on a Phantom Lancer. The Underlord, you have ways to deal with it with your AoE, but your mana is very limited this early in the game.
Yeah, you just had such a slow start on the off lane. It's very hard for Ramses to really turn up to the fights without them just focusing him and killing him off to start with.
Yeah, and it feels, again, I was mentioning in the last game, it feels just like these limited movements for EG to actually make. They have no ways of just initiating and starting these fights just straight up. They have to kind of just like walk in with the Willow to really force any type of action, while Secret's is just a lot more natural. They have a Tiny who, he has such an early Blink Dagger, and he also just walks in and can naturally make plays. Same thing with the Kunkka, and they're starting to roll with it. Everybody's farming. Look at this. The Enchantress as well has now surpassed Zai as well as Yapzor net worth. I mean, Puppy has a Glimmer Cape, and he's on his way toward a 4-staff. He's just playing the farm game.
And every minute that passes, Secret, they're just farming that much better than EG's heroes are.
Yep.
An 8K lead, and EG, they've got to get something done. Otherwise, this game is just going to slip further and further away from any possibility of them having the lead.
Yep, and immediately look at top. Crit, he's getting found already, and that's a quick, easy kill for Zai as well as Nisha.
They're just letting heroes go on EG. Secret a step ahead each and every time in this match.
And look at this, like we were talking about Puppy again, he just continues to farm with his creep. Look how much 97 damage on a range creep. He's last hitting with it constantly, and he's applying pressure onto the lane as well because of it, keeping YapzOr near him too. They get this Tinker ward. Actually, I'm actually going to call this now a tree ward. This is a tree and protector ward, because we don't see Tinker, we see tree every game, and trees always play in the sides there. So yeah, this tree ward will be able to spot Fly as soon as he walks up.
Gets tossed back into the hands of Puppey. He's trying to get the ults off. He won't even get the chance to. As Fly falls, Arteezy looks to try and lead him with the gust, but they're out of range of it.
They're showing and farming in all 3 lanes on the side of Secret. EG cannot punish it at all at the moment. This is devastating right now.
It's terrifying for Evil Geniuses. Again, Matuma Man, you know he's going to be quietly smiling in that booth. He is just having all the space. We saw what he did with that sort of farm in last game. This game on his PL, they already struggle with answers. Maybe if it was even they got good means to deal with it. But as they fall further and further behind, dealing with this Phantom Lancer is going to become something that they just don't have the tools to do.
Yeah, absolutely. He's level 15. Found himself 2 very nice neutral items as well, the Vampire Fangs and the Pupil's Gift. So he's tanky. He can show up to fights, but he doesn't have to. He can just finish up this Manta style he's about to have.
Right. He's trying to set up for some potential kills. They use the Overgrowth on Puppey. They're in with the magical damage. Puppey will fall. YapzOr hides in the trees. Doesn't look like they're aware that he was still around here. So with another blink away and a TP, YapzOr will escape, meaning only Puppey is lost. Just continue out maneuvers from Secret.
Yep.
EG just cannot get any sort of flow going.
No, and they're getting so much farm on the 2 cores that really matter the most on the side of Secret. But I say the 2 cores that matter the most because the supports are also farming super well. Let's see if they can try to pick up something here.
And they do have the fear back, and they've got the damage. Vipers in town. Arbeb will be able to offer up what's required.
Okay, and now Crit, with this kill, he actually finishes up his Yule. So this is one of those playmaking items that allows the Willow to get a little bit more active, as you can just, Curse Crown Yules, you set up that Bramble Maze under, and then you can look to really be much more active in comparison to a Tiny. Deny coming out from YapzOr. But a full Manta, it's time for Matu to join and have some fun with his team.
They're going to see this Piliel show up, and they are going to wonder where it all kind of went wrong, or maybe not. Into the silence. They do a good job of taking him down to half, but he gets the chance to doppel out.
All of EG shows up to back up to protect the Underlord there. Meanwhile, Puppey continues to farm with a range creep bottom. Stops for the moment.
And this is just the problem between the Manta, the Doppelganger, the buff up from the Kunka's Rum, even the heal close by from the Enchantress. It's just so much for EG to fight through. They have to try and find the cause of Secret alone. But with the way that Secret's been playing in some of these games, Secret, they just don't make those sort of mistakes. It's very unlikely for Matuma Man to be out in a position where EG can find him miles away from any sort of backup. Matuma Man, the way that he moves across the map is in such a fashion that he's never alone.
Ooh, Nisha. He might be a little bit alone here, but he does have some backup on the high ground. His boat is still on cooldown, over 15 seconds.
He's able to use the halberd on Arbed, slow down the damage, and now YapzOr, he's jumping in with a blink onto Ramses. Ramses already falling low. They're still trying to kill off Nisha, but Nisha, he could just step away from pretty much the entire squad of EG.
They can't even get him. When he was on the low ground there, he doesn't even have boat during all that, and they still weren't able to because of that halberd disarm and the backup.
And you know the Secret is still very ready to poke at this, and Lance out on a Ramses.
They also are able to keep control of both of those outposts, so deny that XP from EG, and EG is in a fully defensive stance at the moment as Secret running the show. Now that blink is picked up on the Batrider on top of those boots of travel. They have many more ways to now initiate. See if Crit can make another play here with this clumsy net.
See, they have got Arteezy around, and with that, they will have the damage. And these sort of small openings are exactly what EG has to find. They do end up losing Fly on the other half of the map as YapzOr is able to dive in.
It's the battle.
Grab on him.
It's these battle of the 4 positions, right? You see 6, 2, and 1 on Crit. YapzOr 5, 0, and 3, just looking to constantly make plays all over the map. But Secret they're coming out still so much more ahead of it. Still a 10K gold advantage. EG's not slowing it down at all.
Little things though. At least Arbed, he does find the dream item. He gets the Grove Bow on Viper.
And they will also
find YapzOr here. YapzOr, he's going to be left behind, so another kill for EG to pick up.
Nice little kill streak as well, going to Ramses.
Still that big core remains. Matuma Man, the problem that EG have yet to be able to do anything about in this match. And that problem that just continues to grow at a rate that EG's course, they cannot keep up with the farm. You're seeing a huge drop-off and difference. You know, Arteezy, he's there at the top for the team, but even he's slipping back behind. The jump's there, Ramses, he's surrounded, Matu gets on top of him, and the Underlord dies in seconds, and they're even trying to move on for more, Secret. See if they can catch another, pushing them back, they'll get a courier. Fly is able to escape in the trees, but they have to just get out of there. Any time that Ramses shows himself, Secret, they kill him so easily right now. His game has been utterly shut down.
Yeah, and he's gone for the hood into the pipe build, which he needs this game because the magic damage that comes out in particular from Tiny and from Batrider. But then you're going to have to deal with a lot of other things. The illusions that are going to start hurting you a lot. You need a Crimson Guard in this game, but then also you have Impetus. This is a 5-position, quote-unquote, I want to say 5-position Enchantress by Puppey. But he's going to be dishing out a lot of damage in this game as he's actually going to be having more net worth or equivalent net worth as the Viper pretty soon. So he is a force to be reckoned with as well that you can't actually mitigate too well since it's pure damage on that Impetus versus an Underlord.
Despite sort of the speed that Secret is playing at, EG, they still have some of these key points on the map. They still hold on to the tier 1 mid. Fly's been doing a good job of keeping it at full health with the living armor. And Secret have yet to sort of push in and look to take that, which is kind of interesting. 23 minutes in, they've got a 13k lead, but they haven't taken the mid tower.
EG's they've been very focused on that mid tower especially. Just constantly having the Underlord parked between there and with the tree as well. They could look to make that move pretty soon though, as they do still have their lasso available again, so he can look to jump and pull people out of position away from that tower. Yeah, it's increasing. It's just increasing more and more for Secret. That PL, the Kunkka as well, farming a crazy amount. And you mentioned a little bit of luck for the Viper to get that growth ball. We didn't point out, but it was an Imp Claw picked up for the Kunkka, one of the better pickups for him. And now he has a full BKB on top. So he was having a little bit of problems maybe if he gets caught inside of a pit or caught by the Willow. Now, how do you bring down this man? And
this game has just sort of fallen into the same way that we've seen Secret take the other 2 games that they did this series, where they've been able to push EG into a position where EG feel that they're forced to play the farm game. But the truth of the matter is, their heroes, they just do not farm as well as Secrets do. So they're just playing a losing game at the moment.
Yeah, and Drow is not going to be getting stronger at this point versus a PL. Because if you look at Arteezy's itemization, he's feeling like he actually has to go for a BKB in this game because the ways they have to get on top of him in the backlines, be it from the Tiny, be it from the Batrider, be it from just a charge from the Phantom Lancer, he's feeling it very threatened.
I mean, and like Arbed's Viper, Viper just isn't the hero that he used to be when it comes to AFK farming. And you're seeing that in his net worth. You just see right behind him, both Zai and Puppey, they're nearly as farmed as EG's mid.
Yeah. He's 0 to an 8, a place that you never really want to be on Viper. You want to be the one leading the charge, trying to set up, walking up, being unkillable. But in this matchup, you're very killable because the way that Secret's set up so far. And we're seeing very deep aggressive wards coming out too. Puppey puts one down bottom to be able to watch any movements that come out down there. If they see anything there, like the transitions, then they can look to pressure onto that mid tower or even top.
It really is just another one of those games where you've sort of got to ask yourself, what is the plan from EG? It's not going great right now, and what are they sort of trying to work towards? In their minds, where do they see an opportunity to turn this one around?
I don't know, because it's the same, it feels similar to the last one, that they don't have someone to initiate and start the fight.
And he's got a full heart, Matu.
He has a full heart.
You are not killing this man, he's level 20.
Oy. And he also picks up a Mindbreaker for himself too. Oh man, this is a scary Phantom Lancer. He also has some neutral items they can pass off to his buddies as well, since he's been jungling for quite a while.
And it really does feel like, off the back of the drafts, as we said, both of these strats sort of going back to what we saw previously in the tournament. EG, they chose to go with this Drow Viper, but Secret, the PL, that really was the hero that was just having the edge in a lot of these situations.
They're about to see Arteezy. They saw the arrows coming in.
He's going to try and slide away, but with Matu on top of him, there's no hope for the Drow Ranger. That's EG's carry done and dusted. As Secret can just play the map however they wish with the lead that they have.
Yeah, look at this. They're collapsing already. They find the Tree and Protector Fly. They don't have any fear. They're not afraid of this Underlord. They're not afraid of this Willow. They're not afraid of anything on EG.
And they don't need to be. EG, they have nothing right now to scare Secret with. Their cores remain incredibly underfarmed. And Secret, they're taking over the map. They're taking over the entire game. The next thing you know, you're going to look at Matuma Man and he's going to have the Basher. He's going to have the Abyssal Blade. And these sort of item progressions cannot be matched by EG in this passive state that they're playing.
No, I mean, EG's draft is all about you get the ball rolling, you group up, and you kind of just start going. Secret's draft kind of thwarts that, especially when they have this type of a lead. And I don't know, I'm not too sure what you even can do versus EG, because you don't want to give up this Roche. If you do, that's going to be almost impossible for you to come back. So they're trying to contest it here. They have the Underlord, which is really good around the pit at least.
It's not going to be an easy fight though. Already the Illusion's just burning the entirety of Ramsey's mana. He's going to have to use the Shrine right now to start things off, just to get his mana back up. But instantly, you know, the constant onslaught of these Illusions pushing at him. They're going to burn it again, and they get the jump. They drag in Abed. Abed's caught on the front. He gets the BKB off the fear from Crit, trying to push the back. But Abed, he's just dived through the magic immunity. He's trying to run. Nisha hits him hard with the Tidebringer cleave. Abed is gone, and Secret, they're ready to try and catch more. Yulzep will break the X-Mark combo, but it won't save Crit's life. He's into the Shadow Realm, but they have the AoE damage. Secret are just destroying and humiliating EG here in this game 5.
It honestly feels like the game's over. I don't know what a Drow Viper lineup can do versus a PL. If you're not ahead with Drow and Viper, the game is already super difficult, and now they're not only just behind, they're massively behind versus a PL who I don't know how they can bring down at all. They can't seemingly kill anybody on their lineup when they get a nice route into fear play. Everybody else just gets away, and they're almost full health right after the fight.
And off to Roche they go. Nothing.
It's
going to be there from EG to stop this. As you said, they kind of had to, but there's a lot of things that EG needed to do this game, and they were unable to achieve any of them.
They're trying to farm up this BKB like we mentioned for Arteezy, also trying to finish up a Maelstrom for Abed, but that was Abed with his BKB reveal in that last fight, and it did absolutely nothing.
Here we have, they are trying to TP over once again, but it's too late. Roshan has fallen, Matsu has the Aegis. They'll look towards Nisha, but Nisha, he's forced back to safety, out of the range of the multi-shot. And with that initial burst fire attempt from EG, they haven't got anything else left to throw out. They've got to back off. A Secret, now with this Aegis, I mean, they couldn't even kill Matsu the once, killing him twice. It's pretty much impossible. His farm, he's now nearly 7k ahead of Arteezy's Drow. There is no stopping this man. As Secret, they've done an incredible job of just securing the map, and when they do that, Matsu and Nisha, they just get out of control.
Yeah, and there's so limited plays that EG can really do. I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over again, but I don't know what they can really do versus this lineup because of how fast an advantage Secret claim. From the rotations, from Yapzor, and then they just park themselves in all three lanes. And it doesn't feel like there's anything that EG can do.
At the moment, you just look at the heroes, and EG, they have one core hero, the Drow, and a core hero that's severely underfarmed. Both the Viper, Abed, and Ramsey's Underlord, they're falling behind. They're falling behind the supports of Secret. Their game, it's over. I mean, as you said, their game was over long, long ago. It's now up to Secret to just decide when they want to end this. As they move up, there is a repair kit for EG.
That'll
slow this down a little bit.
I think no, you can, all right, you accept that. You're like, all right, you got a repair kit and tree armor. We're gonna back up and at least claim this secondary outpost so you can't have it crit. Looking like he wants to try to make a solo play here on Zai.
See if he can do it. He cannot. Yapzor's in. Gives Zai the backup he needs. They'll secure the bounty rune.
But he does defend at least the outpost for his team for the time being, so they get a little bit of experience, but that experience does not do anything.
I mean, Matsu, he's just poking here alone.
He's got Aegis. He's got no fear at all here.
He is invincible.
Nisha makes his way over, and a full AC now as well on top of that on the Kunkka. And they can just go from tower to tower. They've got aggressive wards down too. Zai trying to look for a catch, and he's gonna find it.
And they go. Drag back Ramses, in they go with a jump. Ramses, above the stick, he's trying to live, but he'll fall. BKB popped by Abed. He's running away. They're chasing him down. Past the tier 3, past the tier 4. As Secret continue to bully EG closer and closer to submission.
More repair kits still available. Fly will throw one more out. They have one additional one after this in combination with the glyph.
I mean, what EG's done to themselves this game, it's beyond repair. These kits aren't going to do anything to help them out in this sort of situation. In they go, Secret Matsu just diving, falls Fly, evaporating. Over they move to Arteezy. He pots the BKB. He's got to run back. There'll be a buyback from Fly. Terrorize does sit back the two of them. Abed is trying to focus down onto the Nisha Kuka, but with a BKB, Nisha could continue to walk back to safety. Matu, he just goes straight back in. The mana of Abed is burned as Matu fights the four of them deep past the tier 4 towers as they cannot hold him back. Ramses tries to go in with the root. It's instantly removed by the Manta. The repair kit is healing the tower back up. But EG, they just cannot get a single kill from Secret.
They've stalled it out, but that was their last charge of their repair kit. And we saw that Secret, they just stopped hitting the building at that point because they're like, whatever, we're just going to dive past it for a moment. And EG, they're just trapped in their base. They're acquiring no farm at all, and it's getting close to the point where we're going to have 5 heroes on Secret, maybe surpassing any of the heroes' net worth on the side of EG, as Arteezy is kind of alone amongst all of those dire heroes on there. It's just a clinic by Secret. No mercy whatsoever.
I mean, and all 3 wins from them in this grand finals, they have been. Secret have just dominated from start to finish in the wins that they've had. Jumping on Abed. Abed's dead for 55. The boat will be sent on through. Ramsey's trying to force them back, but the illusions, they're just keeping Arteezy at bay. Arteezy's got no mana to fight with, no frost arrows, no multi-shot to use. Ramses is dead. They're onto the tier 3 towers, fighting through the armor, pushing on. There's no hold that EG can provide right now. It's reaching a 30k lead at 32 minutes. As EG, all they can do is stand back and watch. Secret, they'll take this mid-Rax, and they can just decide however they want to play this one from now on. They'll move up to the top lane. Another lane in trouble. And EG, all they're doing is watching. They're dead down 2 heroes. They can do nothing with 5. They certainly can't do anything with 3 of them.
No, they're just going to get dove here, inevitably die. I'm still surprised they haven't called it just yet as another Rax gets claimed. Both lanes are gone.
It's looking rough, to say the least. 33k lead, 2 sets of Rax.
I'm surprised this even gives the rating a 1%. This feels like one of those games that we had at TI where it said 100% win rate, because I don't think that there's any way that Secret can lose this one, even if they gave a lot of deaths to EG. They don't have any more fuel for themselves.
I mean, maybe they're not calling GG because they already disconnected 20 minutes ago, because that's how they're playing right now. They're doing nothing, Evil Geniuses. Secret making this look like a walk in the park right now.
I mean, there really is just nothing that they've been able to do. Once Secret started to get the ball rolling, once they started getting so tanky on all these heroes, feeling like they have 4 or 5 cores across their lineup, yeah. He's trying to hang on here, but they don't have damage. It's a 34,000 gold lead for Secret.
I mean, at least they can think about the positives, right? They managed to win a couple of games against Secret. That's kind of nice.
They definitely had some solid games.
Yeah.
This one, though, out of hand.
Oh, hey, here we go. Yapzor is not going to die.
He has 31 armor.
And now they'll turn onto Arteezy. The boat comes crashing down, and so does Arteezy's life. Arteezy's dead. They'll move on for more. The lasso's onto Abed. Abed's gone. Done and dusted. And Secret, they can just A-click the heroes, move on forward. Goodbye, Crit. He's able to disappear to the Shadow Realm, but he cannot disappear, unfortunately, from this hell of a game that he's in.
They call finally. Alrighty.
GG's there, ladies and gentlemen. Your grand final champions are Team Secret. They'll take the major title. And as I said, every 3 games that they won, they weren't even close. They destroyed Evil Geniuses like they did to many of the opponents they had on this incredible run at the major. They're just a tier above.
Yeah,
there's nothing else to be said.
In these last 2 games, it felt like a 30,000 gold lead at the 30-minute mark. All 3 games they won. EG did bring it to them, though. They brought them to the 5 games. I think a lot of people would be very impressed that EG were able to go through this road after having... people were like, oh, they're not going to make it past Vici. They made it past Vici. Oh, they're going to get 3-0 by Secret. They won a couple games, but Secret, they definitely just look to be on another level this time around. And from the draft to the play, they just seem to have such a good control of how they wanted to dictate the pace of the game.
I mean, why were these games, these wins that Secret had, so one-sided? Was a lot of it on the draft? Do you feel that EG, they tried some tired ideas that just weren't going to cut it against Secret's playstyle?
It did feel like it, at least, from the way that they were just able to farm so much, and EG just farmed so much while also playing pressure. EG could not actually survive that pressure.
And here we go. Leipzig, make some noise for your DreamLeague major champions, Team Secret.
guys. Yapster, do it.
I will break it.
You will break it?
I will break it.
Why would you break it?
Too heavy.
It's too heavy.
Maybe.
You've been carrying this squad, you know. I feel like you're going to be able to carry that trophy. All right, I got a question for everybody though, so that nobody is escaping here. Poppy, I'm going to take a quick break from your conversation with Heen here, but you guys took half a year a break. You play one tournament with the stand-in, not sure if that really counts, but you come back and you win the first tournament that you play with this squad. How is that possible?
Maybe it's impossible, but we made it possible.
You really did. Matu, earlier this week, you said that being a part of Secret for you felt like a little bit of a second chance. With that in mind, what does that mean for you?
I mean, it means everything, going from Team Liquid to this team and having success in different teams. You kind of get a validation that you weren't the problem, you know. So, I mean, in that topic, I don't have anything against them, my former teammates. I still love them, and they're amazing people, but sometimes you need to change in the team, so, yeah.
Well-deserved victory, dude. Nisha, I know I'm gonna ask you a question, but I'm gonna let them answer, all right? Yeah, is that a good idea?
That's good. Yeah.
All right, so this entire tournament, every time on the panel, people have been talking about Secret, you know, you're doing really well. And when you come up, it is, Nisha is playing the best. He's the best player at this tournament right now. Isn't that right, guys? Well done. Heen, you guys, I mean, you haven't been with the team that long either.
Yeah.
How does this victory, like, how does that impact you? Like, what a squad. So there wasn't really a question in there, was there? How do you feel?
Amazing. It was a funny best of 5 because I think what we think about the game before and after this series changed a lot. So like in between the games was like crazy talk. Yeah, so much like reviewing what we think about the game and the heroes. So
it's shown through in the drafting and in the strategizing. It was a pleasure to watch both of these squads draft against each other. Zaya, you're the only one that skipped so far. And I know you just hugged Arteezy. And I know you're good friends with Arteezy, and you have met him in the grand final best of 5 before, and also beaten him then. And I was wondering if you've got some words about how it feels like facing him on the other side. Not even necessarily winning, even though you do, but just, you know, how does it feel playing against him?
I mean, when we're in the game, I don't care, you know. But then afterwards, it's a bit sad to see him lose. But it's at the expense of us winning, so there's not much you can do about that. I'm not gonna fall over just because we're friends.
Well said, well said. Yes. Final thing, I know I'm coming back to you, but you guys have had so many supporters here, so many people cheering for you. I just need you to talk to them for a little bit. I think they deserve a couple words.
I mean, thank you for everyone for cheering us. It's always amazing to play in Europe. I can't wait. It feels really cool to be a full European squad now, and we're just looking forward to TI.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Ladies and gentlemen, Team Secret. Then all that is left for me to do is to thank our sponsors. Thank you, Monster Energy, Corsair, Mercedes, and Array Gaming. But most importantly, thank you to the band. And on top of that, thank you. You have been an absolute pleasure here in Leipzig. It has been a treat having this show here for you. Thank you at home watching as well. And from everybody here, everybody backstage, everybody that you can see, that you saw, that you didn't see, from everybody, thank you very much and have a good night.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.